The play starts out with Othello and Desdemona's secret relationship being unveiled. At this point, her father forces them to go to the Duke, at which point Desdemona is forced to choose between the two. She chooses her husband, Othello. The Duke then sends Othello off on a voyage in defense of the country. Desdemona chooses to go with him on the trip. On the deck of the ship is where the rest of the story unfolds. Before they leave, however, Iago and Rodrigo form a pact. Rodrigo is a lad who is in love with Desdemona, mostly because he lusts after her physical beauty. He has a lot of money, which he gives to Iago in exchange for Iago's help to make Desdemona fall in love with Rodrigo. However, Iago actually uses this money to fund his own schemes. Iago is jealous of Cassio and feels as if he has been betrayed by Othello. So in his plot, he has to make sure that both of them are removed from their positions so he can become captain. Iago uses his wife as a tool to make his plan work. Iago convinces Othello that his wife, Desdemona, is having an affair with Cassio, who is a very charming and charismatic young man. However, Othello, being a good man, requires more proof. One way he does this is by taking a handkerchief that Othello has given Desdemona to Cassio. To do this, he asks his wife, Emilia, to get it from Desdemona. She does so, not knowing of its consequences. She gives it faithfully to her husband, thinking he needs it for a good cause, when in reality, he places it in Cassio's room. Cassio, naive, doesn't know that this is actually Desdemona's handkerchief and a symbol of love for her and Othello's relationship. Cassio uses the handkerchief, and Othello sees this, making him think that there is indeed an affair going on. Another way Iago manipulates Othello is by making him see Cassio talk about his wife. Iago has a conversation with Cassio when in reality he's talking about Bianca, a local prostitute. Cassio is very crude and refers to her as a whore. But Othello is hiding in the curtains and he thinks that Cassio is talking about his beloved wife. This enrages Othello and he vows to kill both Desdemona and Cassio. When Othello goes to kill Desdemona, Iago promises to kill off Cassio. However, instead of going himself, he sends Rodrigo to tie up his loose ends. He tells Rodrigo that it is essential that Cassio be removed from the play. However, Rodrigo fails. He merely stabs Cassio, not killing him. Cassio hits him back, and still Rodrigo doesn't die. When Iago comes to the scene, he acts surprised, as if he's a friend of Cassio's, and he kills off Rodrigo. At this point, Othello is in bed with Desdemona, who is claiming that she has not had an affair at all. Othello doesn't believe her, thinks that she is lying, and he suffocates her in their bed sheets. Emilia, at this point, has figured out everything and knows of her husband's manipulations. She runs to Othello, thinking that she can stop him, but it is too late. Desdemona dies faithfully, claiming that it is her own ploy to kill herself and not Othello's fault, as she doesn't want him to go down as a murderer. Iago and the Duke and Cassio show up, all confused at the happenings of that evening. Eventually, the plot unveils, and Iago is now in the open. The Duke decides that Iago must live forever as a prisoner, but before Iago is captured, he kills off Emilia before she can tell anybody else of more of his schemes. Othello, in his grief, kills himself and immediately dies. Now the Duke promotes Cassio to the new captain, as he's the only one who has survived, and Iago is sent to forever live as a prisoner. And that is the end of Othello.